Here is Friday Factorio Facts number 438, summarizing post-space age news. Hello, it has been a month since the space age release, and things are settling into a steady state. It is a good time to wrap things up and discuss our future plans. Space Age soundtrack update. Albert Donion. The Factorio Space Age original soundtrack album has been greatly updated on Steam. Soon it will be in the game also. The edition consists of a second disc labeled Original Game Soundtrack, and it contains all the soundtrack found in the game properly mastered. 50 tracks in total. Finally, you will find your favorite track in the album, for sure. The interludes are not included. These are composed just for the game to properly jump from a track to another without breaking anything. Not convenient for the album. When starting the project, we had a deal with Petter of covering 1 hour of music per planet. 5 hours in total seemed, at that time, like a lot of music. Now that the soundtrack is completed, we can proudly say that each planet length is finally Space, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Vulcanus, 1 hour and 33 minutes. Gleba, 1 hour and 55 minutes. Fulgora, 1 hour and 42 minutes. Aquilo, 2 hours and 1 minute. In total, we have 8 hours and 27 minutes of ultrafine Factorio music perfectly mastered to enjoy it in the game and outside also. Have in mind that 10 of the tracks are mixed procedurally in the engine, making the composition variable each time that plays in the game. For the album, we have rendered an average version of each variable track in order to complete the album experience. The time length in the game can easily surpass by far the total time of the album, especially if we count the interludes also mixed directly in the game. If we count the first disc labeled Factorio Space Age Soundtrack Composer's Mixes, which consists of Peter's selection of his 17 favorite tracks and remixed by himself in an album format with a total length of 2 hours and 4 minutes, and we add the total length of the second folder, we have 10 hours, 31 minutes, and 49 seconds of Factorio music. Such a piece of an album, isn't it? Space Age Wrap-Up Kovarex. The current state. I still remember us saying something about 150 bugs in the forums in FFF 360, and some media taking it as Factorio 1.0 is still a bit on the buggy side. While obviously when we allowed the release, it was because almost all of the bugs were tiny corner case inconsistencies, or something that almost never happens, which we take a look at anyway, but doesn't make the game really bad. This experience doesn't stop us from being transparent. At this moment have 800 plus bug reports on the forums, but again, not many are serious bugs. There are a lot of duplicates. Many are even features. When looking at our Resolved Bugs forum, we fixed more than 625 bug reports since release, and since we prioritize the more critical ones, the game should be pretty okay for the vast majority of people. Next steps. We will continue clearing the bug reports until even the smallest things are sorted out, or tiny things discarded, which will take around 2 months at least. Once this phase is done, we want to start preparing the last major release, for the foreseeable future at least, for Factorio 2.1. We don't know exactly what it will be, but some of the more risky changes related to mod interface, quality of life, graphical tweaks, basically changes too big for putting into 2.0 stable. But don't expect anything too huge like a big content additions. It will be mainly just finishing touches and or cool little widgets allowing more contraptions. Friday Facts schedule. After more than a year of continual weekly FFFs, we feel that it is a good time to stop now. Fixing bugs doesn't really emit that interesting topics, and we prefer to focus on the work now. I can imagine publishing some FFFs once 2.1 development is underway, if we have some interesting things to show, or whenever we have something important to say. Statistics. Factorio players collectively played over 88,000 years on Steam only, which is more than double since the last time we checked in, FFF 365. I won't bother with all the statistics this time, but we moved from 0.34 lines of code per one buyer to 0.24 lines of code per one buyer, so we are getting more efficient, I guess. Tests. I want to restate that without our almost 6,000 automated tests, we would never be able to avoid reintroducing old bugs by fixing new bugs, and we hope that it gets more recognized, and gaming companies will recognize this approach as the gold standard. What after? This is one of the most frequent questions I'm getting. Well, I'm not really sure, but we are playing with different kinds of ideas for the next game. Will we figure out something worth doing? Maybe. To clear my head and gather a little bit of inspiration, I decided to experience the fresh World of Warcraft world for a while. You can find me in the fresh server in the guild called Factory Must Grow. The game I'm thinking about is related to WoW in a similar way as to how Factorio is related to Minecraft. As always, let us know what you think at the usual places. As usual, the link to this FFF will be in the description. Also, this video was made using AI Video Maker, Descript. Comment below if this is a video style that you would like for me to make more of. Like and subscribe for more videos.